evening to you.
How you doing today? Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm doing good, better than last week. Okay, so if you notice, the lighting and stuff is not really on the back side of my thing today, but if you notice behind me, there's a wall missing.
Really?
I just didn't feel like doing the wall. I want the wall done on the other side because it's a bathroom, but I'm going to have to redo it because we're going to put cabinets and everything there. But in the meantime, guys, it's gonna mess my world up. This is the only I'm gonna get it finished before I start my Tim Gillette show back up.
Okay.
With this podcast, I don't know. Maybe I'll put a banner or put some I have what do you call it? I have the old cabinets and stuff that I had here with the. I'll do something to disguise it over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's gonna need some more work and stuff like that. So anyway, that was what happened. We had a flood last week, right, which actually started right around the time that the show started, and I thought, well, it'll be all right. By the time the show finished, luckily I'd taken my socks off because I put my feet down and I was in water. The whole office was in water. The bathroom was in water. All right, but survived it. Anyway, one headache after another. We'll get through this. Anyway.
Well, I still have a headache. It's been so hot here. I don't know if maybe I haven't had enough to drink. And so I started with the headache about 20 minutes ago or something like that. It's been a crazy day. It's a Monday. Hey there, Robert.
Well, I mean, maybe it's because you haven't had enough to drink yet. Maybe means it's time to drink.
That might be it. I think you're right. If I haven't had enough to drink, that means have a drink.
So we're celebrating. Yesterday was National Bourbon Day, or was it International Bourbon Day? I don't know. I know it was Bourbon Day yesterday, and I noticed that. I should have noticed that and come up with this idea before Saturday because, I scrammed everywhere to get the food to make this work today. I only had two kinds of bourbon. Well, three. I actually have three because one of the bourbons I have a little bottle of Jim Beam's Devil's Cut, which before I got into bourbons, this was my favorite.
Okay.
I mean, this was one of the richest that Jim Beam had.
Let me get a picture. Oh, there's my. All right, let's get a picture of your little first bourbon. Love it. It's so cute. Devil's Cut. Okay, fun.
So, but I mean, I know, I most of the stuff I have here is ryes and whiskeys. I really didn't have a lot of bourbons, believe it or not.
I have the Jim Beam in here, and then I have the Jefferson. So I do have to. I guess I have four. I have a Jefferson's Reserve. Let me grab that.
I mean, two of the other ones I thought, I had over there. Well, first of all, I had Uncle Nearest, which I thought was, but Uncle Nearest is not. It's a whiskey.
Yeah.
So Jefferson Reserve. Yeah, I looked at that. I don't have one of those.
Yeah. So this one, and it's the Reserve. So this was a gift from another broker. So I really appreciate that one. I've had that one for a couple years, and I've been just barely sipping on it. I've been holding on to it because it's delicious. I mean, the price point is actually not bad for this bourbon, but it was a gift, so I'm appreciating it as a gift.
We're going to talk gifts. This is a gift that I had that I haven't opened up yet.
Oh, bourbon cream! Oh my goodness!
Bourbon cream from Buffalo Trace.
All right.
I have a white mash Buffalo Trace up there as well.
Okay.
But I don't consider the white mash a bourbon.
Right.
Even though it's it's a mash made for it. But anyway, and then I have my Buffalo Trace, of course.
I ran out of Buffalo Trace, but I was going to buy another one. And the reason I did not get it, I was at the liquor store and I was debating what I wanted. And of course, there was a Woodford Reserve that I considered getting. And I was like I have a Woodford, but it was the rye. And I'm like, okay, what do I want? And I'm looking. So, of course, Stafford Liquor, thank you so much. And it was, oh my goodness, I'll have his name. It's right there. Because I remember if it was a Y or an EY at the end, I'll remember it after a bit. But I was at Stafford Liquor. And so he says, hey, how can I help you? I said, I'm trying to decide. I'm like, I have a wall of bourbons here. And so I said, I do like local. And he says, do you like it sweeter? And I said, well, on a bourbon, just a little bit. Oh, fun.
playing around.
That's okay. I love it.
A
And
new
so he,
this week.
he gave me a couple of different options. And what I liked was that one of them, the reason I went with that over the Buffalo Trace is that he says, well, if you like Buffalo Trace, you're going to like this one a little bit better. So he introduced me to Russell's Reserve.
Yeah. Oh, I've had Russell's Reserve. Yes.
Yes. And there was a red label, and I'll give you all a history lesson in a moment. But he says, if you like Buffalo Trace, you're going to like this one better. Because he says the Buffalo Trace is too sweet for his palate, but he really likes this one. So then the other one, because it's local, this is the first one he mentioned to me, was Brazier. So this one, there's a whole story on that one, which I'll also tell you all the story on this one. But this one, it was a winery that is also a distillery now. And plus it was a cool bottle. Look at that. You can
Yeah.
So these were two that I was like, okay, I will try something new. And so that was kind of the fun part of it. So starting with the Russell. So with Russell, that one is a Kentucky Derby. Oh my goodness. It's a
Kentucky bourbon. Okay.
So this one is a Kentucky bourbon. It is 40% alcohol by volume, 90 proof. So this one, the reason this came about, this was a cool thing. So the master distiller of Wild Turkey, and I thought I had read something about him before, his son started to work at Wild Turkey. So his son, of the master distiller, who then became a master distiller himself, this was an anniversary that's why this came about. So it was in honor of the dad. So Eddie Russell was the one that came up with the Russell Reserve 45th anniversary with the distillery. So that was kind of fun. So the originally in 1981 is when Eddie Russell joined Wild Turkey family. 98 was when he crafted the special small batch bourbon to celebrate his dad Jimmy's 45th anniversary in the industry. 2001 is when this one, the 10-year-old straight bourbon, barreled in 101 proof, which was their signature proof, was 101. And then it was in 2005 when the older barrels, they were losing their proof during maturation. So then they lowered it to 90 proof. So that's why this one is 90 proof. And so then they went into the squattier bottles, and there's still some red labels out there, but it's hard to find. Usually you're going to get it with this white label with like a burgundy color in there. And in 2007 is when they added the rye. And in 2015 is when Eddie, the one that came up with, he became master distiller. And so that was kind of fun, to see the son coming up with something for the dad, and then the son becoming a master distiller. So that was just kind of fun. So that's the history of Russell Reserve, which I'm going to hold this. I'm going to go back. Was it Scotty? I think it was Scotty. No, that wasn't it. Smokey. That's his name. Smokey.
Scotty doesn't know. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's Smokey. It's Smokey. I was like, going, that's all right. So Smokey with an EY at the end, he told me if I did not like it, to bring it back, and he would sacrifice himself and drink it for me.
Oh, that was a nice guy.
I know. That's so kind. When somebody's so giving, I truly appreciate that. So, so it's pronounced Brixeur, Brixeur. So
I thought it was Brazier. I was all excited that I was going to take and have you taste your Brazier.
So
yes, Tim is the jokester on the show.
Yes, it is. The root is French. It means connoisseur, distillateur. So that means it's an expert in the art of winemaking that subsequently branches into spirits. So that's what they did. So they understand the techniques, the details, the principles on the grape fermentation, as well as the distillation of spirits. So it was Trastium is a winery that is here in the Willamette Valley, and they were founded they were founded sooner than that. In 2020 is when they broke off, and not really broke off because their tasting room is in the same building. But the founder was James Fry. He was the owner and the winemaker, and he got he really liked the spirit side of it. That's why he went to this. His daughter Tatum, she was excited when she was 10 years old, and she was able to get onto the grape line to actually pick the grapes. So she's been in the family, for a long time. Then Tatum and her husband Jackson, they knew each other, they started dating in high school, they got married, and so then in 2020 is when this was started. Woman owned now, and to have women in the industry, in wine industry and in distilled spirits, is very low. So she's very proud of that. So they started using everything that was around the winery, where they were sourcing the barrels from their own barrels. So they repurposed the Pinot Noir, Cabernet, and Riesling casks to make their own, that they had award-winning wines, to now use it for their distilled spirits. And this particular one was in Pinot Noir casks. They do have a rye, they have gin, they have vodka. But of course, I just focused on the bourbon. It is 47.5% alcohol by volume. And Tatum, she really likes to make a mint julep and the bleeding heart from it. So a bleeding heart has this bourbon. It's got cranberry juice, lemon juice, Chambord, and then simple syrup. So it's 2 ounces, 2 ounces, 1 ounce, half an ounce, half an ounce. So 2 ounces of whiskey.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing mixtures. I just had
No,
straight
I didn't. I absolutely did not. I told when I was talking to Smokey, I said, this is going to be tasted on its own, not, mixing it. But that is the bleeding heart cocktail. And then, of course, the mint julep is mint. It's 2 ounces, 8 mint leaves, and a half an ounce of simple syrup. You can also make a Belvedere from it. 1 ounce Belvedere, 1 ounce Campari, 1 ounce sweet vermouth. So there's a lot of simple things that you can make with just 3-4 ingredients. But today, I thought it's just tasted on its own. And you also, depending on how you want to taste it, if you're going to do something neat, then this is the glass you want to use, because this one is made specifically for you to be able to smell. And everything starts with our eyes, our smell, then our taste. If you're going to use a rock, then this one. You can add water to either one of them, but it's better to add water to this one. And it's to open it up. It's not to dilute the alcohol, just a few drops. Of course, what I did is that I brought my big cubes. I didn't bring the skinny cube for this one.
No, I only brought small cubes tonight, and I'm only going to adjust as I go through, because each one of them, I'm going to try them both ways tonight. So, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with because because I was limited on what I had on my shelf, so I'm going to go with what would be normally a popular brand, which most everybody knows when it comes to bourbon. Jim Beam is the name on bourbon.
Yeah.
Then the one that's gotten to be popular over the years, or recent years, and that is our Buffalo Trace, is where I'm going to go the second one, and then I'm going to go with a local. This is a Texas local bourbon that I happen to love, and that is Iron Wolf.
Yes.
Which this is all the Iron Wolf I have left. Iron Wolf also makes the cinnamon whiskey that I make my barbecue sauce with. So, and then after that, I will do kind of like we'll say the dessert tasting, and I have a little pecan pie to go with the dessert tonight. We're gonna taste some of the bourbon cream, and I have an ice cube. But I'm probably gonna put that with an ice cube tonight.
I like that.
But I mean, yeah, before I got into custom bourbons, I drank Jim Beam Fire. All right. I remember Jim Beam was the first distillery I ever visited. All right. And I mean, I had a joy going there. I've got a picture of me and my motorcycle in front of the place. All right. Did a wonderful tasting there of a lot of stuff they have. And I don't think they have anymore. They used to have a brand called Baker's. Do you remember Baker's? Baker's was a really high end that we tasted it. And Gwen was like, oh my God, don't let me taste that again, because we'll go broke trying to get some of it.
So good.
Yeah. Another one they had a flavored, what they call a red black cherry stag.
Okay.
that black cherry stag goes very, very well. And I've had it at one of the Harley dealers I used to be part of. I had that at their Christmas party one time with some Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
The black cherry, and again, cherry goes very well with Dr. Pepper. So, that's where I got into that. So, but yesterday I seen that it was Bourbon Day yesterday, and I decided we were going to do bourbons today, which is something that this was the love that Gladys and I, bourbons and whiskeys, was the love that we were introduced by. So, and I know I was on Craig's call early this morning for a little bit, and I had to jump off early. But I was telling him, I was like, we're at episode 186. We're going to be at 200 real soon.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get Craig back on for 200 and do another Angels Envy round.
There you go. Well, there's nothing that we can complain about Angels Envy. You know, my hair's been doing all sorts of funky things today. Sorry, I got to.
And I only have Angels Envy rye. I don't have any Angels Envy regular bourbon on my shelf. I thought I did. I have 3 different ryes.
I have it at home. It's at home. It's not here.
Yeah.
So this is pretty that's pretty color. Look at that. It looks lighter here because here it looks nice and dark, but it's got a pretty caramel color. That smell, you could just you can almost smell the caramel in here. It's like
this one here, believe it or not, I'm getting the caramel and a buttery caramel with this Devil's Cut.
Okay.
Which I remember the TV ads for Devil's Cut. It was, who was that girl who was Mila Kunis or so was on that 70s show? She was the voice actor on that.
Yeah.
Which made it sexier even more. But anyway, yeah.
So let me cleanse my palate here.
Oh, I don't like water. I don't like it with water. When watered down with, I can drop the cube in it. No.
I have to cleanse my palate.
No. I'm talking I dropped the cube in this.
Oh.
Ooh. 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 No.
Oh. So the smell on this one, I don't catch it as well because I don't, I think I have another one of these possibly, but it's probably in the kitchen. I just grabbed that one. But this one feels lighter in the smell and with there's the sweetness. So the nice thing about having, and I don't do sweet, I'm not a sweet person. I've said that before and it just sounds terrible. So I don't like, sweet drinks, but when it comes to a bourbon, I don't mind a slight sweetness because sometimes when you have that bite, with the whiskey, you have a different bite than with the bourbon. And when you're in that bite with the bourbon and you have that sweetness, it kind of balances it out. Not quite as sweet and sour, but definitely that ability to be able to tolerate certain strength in there. But this one, I kind of like that. I really do. I'm going to put it in. Again, your ice cube is not to dilute it. It's to open up your whiskey, your bourbon. But at the same time, when you get that little bit of slow melt, that's the beauty of it, is that slow melt. You're able to have it open up without it diluting it. Because when you have crushed ice in here, it's going to dilute it. You're not going to taste the flavor truly. And then you might be, not drinking because it's like, oh, it's diluted, but then you left half your drink in the melted ice because it got diluted and then you don't taste it. The last time I had an old fashioned where I didn't ask for a big cube because I was expecting a big cube and I'm tasting it. I'm like, something's wrong. And it was because it had diluted. So they're like, oh, we used 2 ounces. I said, I believe you, but it doesn't taste right. And then I realized it was the ice that had diluted my drink. So I will have it though with a big cube. And that's the first thing I always ask. Do you have a big cube? If you don't, then I order something else.
Yeah. So, the foods I've kind of built like a fruit and nut cheese plate.
Okay.
And then I have some barbecue.
I forgot my cheese.
Going with it tonight. So I'm going to tell you is really, I didn't get any brisket because the barbecue joint I normally would go to really here in town is not open on Mondays.
Mm.
But I had this part of an 8-ounce sirloin I had at a place here near us called Elm Fork. We were at Saturday night with friends, and then I have some chicken wings that I get these wings from HEB every week, and I just cook them on the grill.
Okay.
But this is what was left over of my steak from Saturday night, and I figured I was going to take that with the barbecue because Saturday I had it, and at Elm Fork my drink was called a Buffalo Smash. It was a blueberry, all right, mint. I forget. I think there was some simple syrup into it, and then Buffalo Trace.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
With a large cube.
Wow. See, I would have anything blueberries. I would have done vodka or maybe gin, but most likely vodka. I never would have thought to put whiskey into.
I didn't until I seen it, and I'm going to tell you. I remember asking for a second one, and the second one never came. I was disappointed. I made sure they didn't charge my ass for that one.
So what I had a business at one of the local businesses here that also is the Mama to Murray, the Golden Doodle that I take care of. So her husband had been barbecuing, so this is a little bit left of the steak, and then I made a chicken. This was from the Mexican market here, San Francisco, here in Wilsonville. They marinate their chicken, and I do like their marinade. I don't do their marinated meat. I do my own marinade, but when it comes to the chicken, it just penetrates. It's delicious. So this is leftover, nice little pieces of char in there. It's still moist. It's got this smoky flavor in there. And then of course the corn, that's a Mexican corn, but this is using an avocado oil that almost tastes like olive oil to me. It's a little different, but there's still, it's got chipotle in there, the olive oil, and I don't know what else is in. Oh, like a little chili powder. So I had the corn, so that's going to be very, very messy. I might try to see if I can cut off some of the kernels, but the chicken I think is the winner around here today. So that's what and it went very well with the Russells. That my steak and the Russell, I liked it.
Do you remember the one nice place we went to in Denton when you were here called Union Brewery?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Gwen and I stopped there for lunch on the way home on Saturday. They have a Brussels sprout salad.
Oh,
which Gwen took the recipe and came home and made it.
Nice.
Which we have, and I mean it is. Of course, it goes very, very well with, because I know I had it on Sunday. Very, very well with a bourbon. So I'm kind of glad I had some left over. So I really didn't put a lot of salad with tonight's episode. But it's got the dried cranberries into it. All right. Got some nuts into it.
Oh yes, cranberries and
so
nuts.
Really, wow. It goes well with alcohol, but it goes well. But it's Brussels sprouts. It's shaved Brussels sprouts, so it goes well with almost anything. I think it's a balsamic vinegar dressing.
Okay. I'm trying to get that's the one problem with the big cubes. Sometimes they, oh, there we go. They make it difficult to respond. So,
I mean, the other things I've added to here with it is I've got some various nuts, some dark chocolate, an apple. And I couldn't believe I didn't have an apple in my house. I had to go out to find an apple today.
It's funny.
Gwen brought some toffee home that I'm going to try with here in a minute too. And then I had various cheeses I have in my refrigerator. One of them is a spicy jalapeno jack.
Okay.
Which I love jalapeno jack cheeses. I'm going to try that. I don't suppose that's a great mix, but I'm going to try it. I will tell you, I love pistachios. Pistachios go really well with bourbon.
So I added a little bit of the cold water in here, not much. I liked it. It seemed like a little bit of the sweetness came out in there. It still has that nice balance there. I'm going to try it with my chicken this time instead of my steak. Switch it up a bit.
Oh, there is not a cheese on this plate that's bad with this bourbon.
Mm. So a little bit of the spice came out because I think the spices that are in this chicken, and it's not spicy spice, it's just spices. I think brought out the spice in the Russells. So I'm going to try it now with, I have to cleanse the palate here and go with the brick sewer.
Goes so good with a steak. But then again, when's the last time bourbon didn't go with a steak? It's like an easy pairing.
Mm-hmm. So this one is a big cube.
Okay.
This one's a little bit more mellow. So the cube, that coldness, I think toned it down just a little, or it was the chicken that just toned it down. Whereas with the Russells, the chicken brought out the spice in that bourbon. Kind of fun. You know,
How did they cook the chicken?
It was marinated and then thrown on the barbecue.
Okay. This is marinated in a barbecue marinade and then done on the grill. So it's got the smokiness of the grill, all right, but the smokiness of whatever the marinade was. Which, if I dip in my sauce, which has a bourbon in the sauce. So
yeah, this chicken, I don't know what they marinated it. Maybe one of these days they'll tell me. But the chicken is almost like a orange color. And let's see if you can see here. So there's like on the edge, and so it's got this orangey color because of the spices they use to marinate it in.
Well, let's talk about cooking chicken for a minute.
Okay.
If you're doing chicken, let's say you're having a barbecue at the house, and you're doing chicken, there are so many different ways you can do chicken. Number one, I've got wings, and I've got the butterfly part of the wing, not the drum. Wings are one way. Drumsticks are another way. Then you could chop off breasts, and you can do a ton of things with the breast, right? I've taken the breasts, battered them, and cooked them. I've taken the breasts, just put them on the grill. I've taken the breasts, and I've actually put them in a marinade and put them on the grill.
There you go.
Put them on a marinade and put them in a pan, fried them with olive oil, fried them with, I've fried them with coconut oil. Both very, very good. And then there's the rotisserie chicken, where you take the whole chicken, you treat it, all right. You put all that, all that salts and stuff onto it, and then you just let it cook on the grill. But wait, we're not done yet. All right, spatchcock that sucker and put it on the grill.
Oh, I thought of doing that after. Oh.
The spatchcocking will cook it faster, but you still have all of those tastes that come with the fire of the real fire of the grill, right? There are so many different ways you could do a chicken, right? All right. And what Jess does is Jess, like my daughter, gets these chicken breasts and she'll take and just chop them up into pieces, put them in the pan, fry them up, add some taco seasoning to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then she'll take that, put it in a container, and throughout the week, she'll make tacos, chicken tacos to take to work.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
With that, it's unlike a hamburger. There's about 4 ways to cook a hamburger, right? You know what I mean? Chicken. There are so many ways you can cook chicken and do things with chicken.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I have so many chicken recipes. One of the things I like to do, I haven't done it in a little bit, but get the chicken breast and I thin it out as much as I can. So I most of the time I have to just, sliver it and then I pound it down. Then I saute mushrooms and shallots. Sometimes I throw other things in there. Maybe I'll throw cheese if I feel like it. It depends on how adventurous I'm being. Once it's cooled down just enough, because the chicken has been now thinned out, I then fill it and then roll it. Then I use toothpicks to hold it. I layer it in a little casserole thing. I cover it with aluminum foil and I throw it in the oven to cook it. Oh my goodness, that is so delicious. And then you slice it and you got like a pinwheel filled with mushrooms with shallots inside the chicken breast. It is so tasty and so healthy. And then you could serve it over risotto. You could serve it over rice, over potatoes, do a little sauce like a demi-glaze sauce over it. You can also serve it over orzo, which is not one of my favorites. I really don't care for that. But you can do so many sides with it. Or you can just eat it by itself. It's yummy just by itself. I've done that too, because it's like, oh, it's leftover. I just heat it up and that's what I eat. And it's like nom, 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 for lunch. So yes, chicken has so many different things. I'll make chicken soup and then I'll make enchiladas. Or I've made rotisserie chicken and then I make chicken salad. There's leftover chickens you can make. You can make so many things like chicken salad.
You could add a poblano and make chicken chili.
I've never done that.
You could grind, believe it or not, you could run it through, if you have a meat grinder, you can run it through a grinder just like a hamburger, all right, and then cook it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just went to my third bourbon, by the way. I've done the Iron Wolf, I've done the Jim Beam, but now I just kicked the Buffalo Trace in. Here's what Buffalo Trace is, the difference between the two of them.
Okay.
All right. Jim Beam Devil's Cut, not Jim Beam regular. Jim Beam's Devil's Cut has got the flavor notes coming in. All right. It's got that caramel coming in. It's coating your throat as it goes down. Here's what the Buffalo Trace is doing. It's got that color notes. It's got that flavor notes. And then it gives you that warm feeling as it burns its way down.
Love it.
Yeah. And that's what I love about Buffalo Trace and I can sip it all day long. And I forget, I think I was on the event I was part of this past week. Somebody started talking alcohol and I was like, yeah, I'm poured alcohol. I think I might have had moonshine, not bourbon. But anyway, they're like, you sip on it? I'm like, if I'm in the mood, I can sip on it all day long.
Mm-hmm.
There are three things that I love to drink that are part of my day almost every day. Well, not every day because I don't drink bourbon or I don't drink every day anymore. But bourbon, number one. And then you can switch the bourbon to I want to try a whiskey or I want to try a rye, right? Number two is my espresso in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to have an espresso in the morning. And believe it or not, I've doctored my espresso with both bourbon and Sambuca. And both of them paired very well with an espresso.
Mm.
And then my third drink. What do you think it is?
Bourbon and Dr. Pepper?
Well, you named it. I actually have it on the. I still have it on the. I think that I Dr. Pepper, baby. Here's the trick. This is why we do the show. Like the way you drink. I like all three of those drinks. Now I drink water, and I have some like liquid death waters, right? And I drink regular water with lemon. All right, but I don't consider that my drink. You know what I mean? That's just something you have to be putting water in your body. You need, as I'm switching between things, I'm using seltzer water to cleanse the palate. Right. But the three things I'm passionate about drinking is bourbons, Dr. Pepper, espresso, or coffees.
Mm.
All right. And I remember drinking coffee. I don't know if we ever done a coffee tasting on the show. I think we did one back in the episode. But basically, when I worked for Starbucks, we did coffee tastings. And that was tasting. There's a certain way to taste it, right? Just like there's a certain way to taste wines. When I left Starbucks, if I went into a Starbucks and I noticed they had they were doing a coffee tasting with a new barista, I could tell because it was something I was passionate about.
Right.
I liked what I drank. So I'm like, I don't care what it is. I'm going to taste. All right.
Yeah. So I do remember going into a Starbucks here in Wilsonville, and I asked the barista, which I realized she was, I don't know, first day. I asked for a misto.
Mm-hmm.
And she had this, said, it's steamed milk with drip. She goes, oh, so you want a latte? And I said, no. I want steamed milk in a drip. And then she had this confused look on her face. I said, you know what? Just give me a drip. Leave room for cream. I said, and then when she gave me my drip, I said, you need to ask what that is. I wasn't gonna take more of her time. I was okay putting in, I like that my coffee's warm. I love oh my goodness. So in my opinion, my mama started the latte craze way back when, because when I was a kid, she would steam my milk, would put like a little bit, like, I don't know, an eighth of a teaspoon of Taster's Choice decaffeinated coffee into my milk, put it in my bottle, shake, and she'd give it to me and I drank my milk. So my mama was giving me lattes or a misto really since I was a kid. So it's part of me. I love a misto. A latte is great, but a misto is just steamed milk with coffee. I love that. Once in a while, I might add, a vanilla, pump, but just a misto with the coffee I'm happy with, because it just takes me back when I was a child with my bottle, drinking my babas, it's just, so yeah, I knew she was new. I'm like, oh my goodness, she has no idea what that is. I said, ask. I'm not your trainer, so I had things to do. So
it's funny because I get espresso with whipped cream in the morning.
Oh, that's fun.
So I put about a half a cup of whipped cream, and then I have them pour the espresso shots over and sprinkle cinnamon on top.
Oh, cinnamon.
So I swirl that around to get the flavor of the whipped cream, which is vanilla, into it, the cinnamon into the coffee, and then I sip it or drink it down. Usually there's a little bit of whipped cream left on the top because I don't always get the whipped cream. Well, my grandson, if he's with me, I'm teaching him to throw away trash, do responsibility. So I have him walk from our seat to throw away trash piece by piece where he can handle it and not drop it. And one of the things is him in the cup, him in my short cup, the whole way down, trying to suck out that whipped cream all the way, or whatever grandpa left in there. So I'm going to have a kid at 2 years old. I'm going to have a kid hooked on espresso. I know it. You went silent. Did you hit a button on your microphone? Or did I lose sound?
Okay, there we go. For some reason, I went mute, but you had gone mute for a brief second, but I knew what you were saying. No, it was growing up, Taster's Choice, my mama, decaf. And so I learned to appreciate coffee. So I drink coffee after 4 o'clock. I really don't like to drink caffeine because I have a hard time going to sleep. I add caffeine to my body, I'm going to have a harder time going to sleep. Unless I need that little bit of a jolt to keep me going. I don't drink caffeine after 4. I'll push it to 6, but after 6, truly, no. But
if I told you a secret about caffeine, well, I'll tell you later.
All right.
I'm not telling our audience that.
But decaf, I like the taste of coffee, so I don't mind having a decaf drink. Because for me, it's the taste of the coffee. It's not about the caffeine. Although I do like my caffeine in the morning. I mean, I have. I don't always finish it, but I will sip on. And this is a Yeti, so kudos to Yeti. Keeps my coffee so hot.
It will last all day. Yeah.
Oh, by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it's still warm. It's crazy. I usually keep it open to help it cool down. Sometimes I take it completely off, because it's so hot in the morning that I can't drink it, and I need for it to cool down so I can take a few sips.
Can I say?
It's still warm.
Hold on, I'm going to say this. All right. I mean, I know my wife will be mad at me when I say it. It's like my wife. It's hot and ready to go all day long.
That's your conversation with Gwen. La la la. We did not hear this, or at least I did not hear this. You know, I have a drinking problem and an eating disorder. Apparently, I got coffee on me.
All right. Well, she's doing that. Yes, I still have some of my Buffalo Trace left, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to improvise with everything we have here.
Wow.
And I'm going to put in my other favorite drink real quick.
Dr. Pepper?
To taste it with everything we've got here.
Okay. Well, then I'm
Dr. Pepper and pistachio nuts.
Oh.
What a good combination. Dr. Pepper and apple slices.
Jefferson Reserve with my chicken.
Not so good with the apple.
Oh. Ooh.
Not bad, but not as good.
Yeah. Apple has a different flavor palette. That goes more with gin. It goes more with vodka. Possibly a rum, but not quite. So
I don't think I want to have Dr. Pepper with cheese. I don't think so. However, let me try a little bit of Dr. Pepper with my chicken wing.
Oh, that might taste good. My Jefferson Reserve, I had a little bit of my Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey, very small batch. This is a 90.2 proof, which is very close to this proof. This is 90 proof. This one is, where's my proof on this one? 95 proof. So Jefferson is closer to the Russell than it is to this one. With my chicken, the Buffalo Trace, or excuse me, oh my goodness, where am I going? The Jefferson Reserve is on point. Absolutely delicious. It is so smooth. So in my opinion, the Jefferson Reserve is much smoother. But I do like this one. Russell's, I was impressed by Russell's. I'm not complaining about this. I might have to try it over a little bit of. I did like it with a little bit of the water. I think it opened it up, and I'm gonna see what it does with the ice. So I will have to go back to Smokey and tell him how much I liked or disliked the Russell, because if I didn't like it, he'll be drinking the rest of this bottle.
He was going to drink the rest of it.
He will sacrifice.
Hey, was him drinking the rest of it in one sitting? Oh, didn't ask the question.
He did tell me I needed to go back and report in what I thought.
All right. So I did everything there with a Dr. Pepper. Right. It just goes to show that all the foods I picked are right. Dr. Pepper and bourbon have a great flavor marrying. You know what I mean by a flavor marrying? Which means if you have a taste bud for Dr. Pepper, you'd probably have a taste bud for the bourbons I've picked. Now, I'm not going to quote the bourbons you've picked, because the bourbons I've picked, which means they're going to be on the same. They're going to be a complementing flavor palette. All right. The last thing I have here is the bourbon cream, which I would have with chocolate, the toffee, and a little piece of pecan pie.
So, Mauna Loa.
Macadamia. Oh my gosh.
So my friend Kurt, he and his wife like saying they're, near and dear to my heart.
Oh.
They went to Hawaii and brought this back. So I will have to.
No. I will tell you, I worked for a coffee company, a coffee packaging company in the mid 80s. And we had a client, it was in Hawaii. And which where they had one of our packaging machines out there. And every time one of the mechanics went out there to work on the machines, he would take an extra suitcase
Just for macadamia nuts and chocolate?
For no, for the coffee, the macadamia coffee. So they brew the coffee beans with the macadamia nuts. So he would always go in, and the one salesman was great. His name was John. I remember John. And John would always go in and he'd say, "Hey, we really need some of your coffee to make us to use for testing on the machines back in the office. Do you think you can give me some?" So he would fill his large suitcase up with packages of 1 pound coffee. And the key was, if you knew John was coming back from Hawaii, you met him in the office. If he was coming in at 9 a.m., you were there at 8:55. Because if you weren't, at 9:01,
it was gone.
He was out of it. All right. We never, and I'm going to say this because I can't say the name of the coffee company. I can't say the name of the company because of a agreement I signed years ago, but we never used it for sampling and testing ever. It was for all the employees because we couldn't get that coffee in the States. 48 states, it was only available in Hawaii. And oh my God, it was some of the best coffee I've ever had in my life, right? Well, that's where my first, I mean, you think about it, that was my first taste of flavor palette.
I was going to say that's your first love of coffee.
Yeah, I was 19 years old, 20 years old when I worked at that company. And a 19-year-old, you talked about a 19-year-old about what they like in alcohol, and most of their answer is whatever gets me the drunk the fastest. That's usually what their answer is. Well, I learned flavor because of the fact that we were working coffee packaging to where some stuff had to be ground and then packaged. Some stuff was whole bean and packaged. All right. And the taste of it, if it's ground and sits ground, is different than the taste of its whole bean. And then you grind it as you need it. So whole different taste palettes.
Do you have your own coffee grinder?
I do. Yeah. We have our own grinder. We have a machine that grinds it as well on the espresso machine.
Okay. So as we've talked about possibly doing coffee.
Yeah.
I have a connection at World Cup Coffee here in Wilsonville.
Oh. It's Tim Allen.
Scooby Snack. So, they have a Vienna that's absolutely delicious. They have a single origin Guatemalan blend. They have a Brazilian blend. They have a Colombian blend. They have a Kenya blend. They have. I did a tour of their warehouse. Oh my goodness. And so the last time I was like, I need some coffee. And because I was running out, we ended up at a golf tournament, brings me 2 pounds of coffee beans, Colombia, because he knew I was going to order it. And he's all, and then, so my thing now is I need a sign that says, we'll pay for your golf for coffee, you know? So World Cup Coffee. We'll be getting you some beans, so that way the next time, and I will have Dan the Man on the podcast. Hopefully he's available to put him on the podcast where he will talk coffee. Oh my goodness!
Well, no, remember that place you and I went to? We went to a place when you were here called Armor Brewery.
Yeah.
They have a coffee shop as well.
Oh.
Yeah, they have their own lines of espresso and everything too. Same town where we were at, but you and I were into tasting alcohol that day, not espresso.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I might actually do the podcast, or when you make it out here, that might be one of our stops.
Might be. Okay, so I'm tasting out this buffalo or bourbon cream. I just ate a whole piece of dark chocolate with it. Oh my gosh.
I will say Mauna Loa macadamias in dark chocolate. Sorry. Russell's. This was yum. I added the Russell's to my ice cube and had it with, it was good. I really liked it. So that was a good combination. And then I kept eating my chicken. This chicken is really good. I'm down to my last 6 pieces of dark chocolate.
Okay, so one of the other things Gwen stopped and got me to taste, and I'm not a big pecan pie fan, but she stopped and got some pecan pie because it was one of the suggestions to have with bourbon.
Uh-huh.
With this bourbon cream, it is, oh my God.
I'm not a pecan pie. I've
Mm.
never been but you're pairing it
I was never a fan of it, but oh my God, it is good. With the right pairing, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, wait. The last of my. So I will say my Jefferson's Reserve is still my favorite three of the bourbon. Of the three bourbons, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
It is delicious. It is smooth. I absolutely love it. The other two are good. Russell's, it's very close to how much I like Buffalo Trace. What I'm going to have to do is do a Russell's versus Buffalo Trace to see which one I like a little bit better. But being local, this was yum. I did enjoy it. I am looking forward to tasting their vodka because Crater Lake is my favorite local vodka when it comes to Oregon. That reserve, which I've sent you Crater Lake a couple times, but it hasn't been the reserve. The reserve is just one level up. I want to take the reserve and pair it against their vodka because the guy was talking greatly about theirs. And I said, dude, pair it against Crater Lake Reserve. Price point is exactly the same. And see which one he likes better. So, Smokey, thank you for these two. I do like them. I might take this, when you're off work, we'll do a shot of this together. But yeah, I'm not willing to give up the rest of the bottle because I did like it. And mind you all, bourbon is not my favorite whiskey. Scotch, whiskey, bourbon in that order. My Scotch, I just have a love for Scotch, but whiskey in itself, there's so many whiskeys out there. And when I was in Scotland, it was whiskey. It was not Scotch. So if you're ever in Scotland, do not call it Scotch. Just call it whiskey. Yum, yum.
No.
That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, Forrest Gump. Don't tell my wife I finished this entire pie.
Was it a slice of pie or was it a whole pie?
It was a slice.
Okay, good. Because if it was a slice of pie or is fine, but a whole pie, I'd be like, Tim, do you need counseling? Because that's a whole pie.
Yeah, no, it was a slice of pie.
Okay.
And when it comes to what I like to drink, all right. So to me, the Scotch has always been last, all right, as opposed to the bourbon's been first, the whiskey second, and the Scotch last.
So I guess we have whiskey second, so we are like eye to eye on that one.
Yeah, the whiskey we have second, all right, but bourbon is always my favorite. And well, I say that, but I got to classify, my moonshines in with the whiskey. So, because moonshine is whiskey. It's just like over in Scotland, they're going to call Scotch whiskey. I'm sorry, in America, moonshine is whiskey. All right.
Yeah. I still classify it separate.
Huh?
It is. It's like we've always classified moonshine as its own. But yes, you're right.
It is a whiskey, but also it shares a very similar comparison to bourbon. It's just not aged.
Right.
Because the bourbon has to be so much as 60% corn.
No, 51% corn. It has to be made in new oak.
A new oak.
That's what makes a bourbon a bourbon. It's not so much the corn. Yes, the corn is important. That's a thing. So there are certain things that are very specific when you are talking about certain spirits. You can't call it Scotch unless it's from Scotland. But a bourbon is a whiskey that is distilled from fermented grain mash and aged in wood containers.
Yeah.
Both bourbon and bourbon and rye are types of American whiskeys, and according to regulations, both must be aged in new charred oak containers.
Yeah.
Now, the bourbon is considered an American native spirit, but it must be made with 51% corn. That's the thing. It's corn.
Well, which most moonshines are 50 plus corn. Most moonshines are 50 plus corn. There's not all. So the moonshine that you and I have had on the show just recently was the Climax.
Yeah.
Climax, I believe, is only 35 or 40% corn because it's a mixture of corn, rye, and malted barley.
I guess that's why we like it. It has like this complex.
It has the combination flavor. That's why it's so good, right? But it's just the difference between moonshine and whiskey is the moonshine's not aged. It's just poured into the bottle and served. Yeah. Whereas most of your whiskeys are aged in a bottle, are aged in an oak barrel.
Yeah, this one doesn't say how long it's been aged. Distilled in. Really, this one says distilled in Indiana, matured and bottled by J.A. Frey and Company Spirits in Newburgh, Oregon. First barrel whiskey cask, second barrel Pinot Noir, third barrel Pinot cask, bottle strength. So this one has gone through a process. It's going across state lines. This one is straight Kentucky bourbon.
So I mean, some of those the good bourbons and stuff like that. Sometimes the putting it in barrels and then it sits to age is all temperature related. All right, like think about some of the stuff you have. All right, if it's aged in a certain temperature, it becomes different. I know from watching moonshiners, some moonshiners they aged the whiskey by putting the burnt oak chunks into the whiskey, and then they actually would put it in the freezer, and it would cause it to age quicker because it's not going to freeze; it's just going to age quicker. Now you pull it out, and then you strain the wood out of it, and you have almost what's similar to a bourbon whiskey. Yeah. And again, most people come with there's all kinds of ways. There's a million ways to make whiskey, right? All right. But it's like certain rules have to be followed to be a certain whiskey.
And my bourbon, y'all, I barreled it in August or September of 2014 after I made my rye, because if you go to a rye, you can go to a bourbon, or you go to a bourbon, you can go to a rye in my little 10-liter barrel. So I'll get about 12 bottles, about this size. I need to bottle it. And I need to bottle it before August, because in August I'll be visiting Tim. And I have like 3 bottles that I owe him that I haven't shipped. I might just pay for the checking in my bag and throwing the 3 bottles into my bag and getting them there. And so I'll need the bourbon in there, because that's what's at Quartz Mountain Distillery. It is sitting there waiting, and the owner's all, when are you going to bottle it? And I'm like, I need time. And I haven't.
When I get around to it.
Actually, oh my goodness. I had a boss many years ago. She had into it and around to it. It was these little boards that she had hanging. It was hilarious. So when you get around to it or into it, no excuse.
Yeah, I have a ton of those square to it. It's the round to it that I.
So y'all remember to subscribe to Like the Way You Drink, because I'll be in Texas. And if you are in the Texas Fort Worth area, we will be doing something in mid-August.
Yep.
And so, and I haven't booked my flight just yet, so I might stay an extra couple of nights just to be able to do something with y'all. So make sure you subscribe so that you know what we're going to do. And I know Tim's going to make it out to Oregon. We're trying to figure out dates on that. And if you're in the Oregon, Washington/Vancouver area, we will be doing something. We will invite you. And if you're in the area, let us know. If you're in the Portland area, so Seattle to Eugene, that would be me. If you're in Dallas, Fort Worth area, even Austin, you can get there. We are good. We do things. We go to things. We get invited. We will invite you too. So make sure you get onto our Insiders Club. Go to likethewayyoudrink.com. Sign up. You do need to be 21 or over because obvious reasons. You need to be 21 or over.
Cool. Our businesses pay the bills around here, so each one of us do a short commercial. All right, please support us if you need that thing. So we're going to start with Gladys because she's the female, so she always gets to go first.
Thank you, Tim. Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. I help you become employer of choice through providing employee benefits. Because guess what? There are 101 ways to attract and retain quality staff. If you don't know what they are, go to Insurance Design Pros on the upper left-hand corner. You can download the white paper that will give you the high level of those 101 different ways. But if you want to start the conversation, it costs you nothing to get on my calendar. Go to enrollnoworegon.com. That is my calendar. Let's start the conversation. If there is something I cannot do or it is not in my state of Oregon, Washington, or California, I will find a broker in your area that can help you. That's enrollnoworegon.com. Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. And this is my co-host.
Hey guys, Tim Johnson, Simply Easy Websites. We build websites for the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, and the small business persons in America. You get years and years and years of my experience as a copywriter, a content writer, all right, helping you build your website and maintain it. SimplyEasyWebsites.com. If you're looking to have your website rebuilt or you're looking to actually have someone run it for you so you can be about running your business. If your website is not generating leads for you, then it's nothing more than an expensive business card.
Right.
What else we got?
That's all I got. Shout out to Stafford Liquor and Smokey. Thank you so much for the 2 options that I picked up today.
Cool. So yeah, we've got a new liquor store close to us that just opened this week.
Ooh.
And I have just haven't gone over it. I've gone to their other one, which is on the other side of town, but they opened a version just down the street from us. All right, called Lucky's Liquor. I've got to go down there and check them out, the new store, and see how well it is. You know, for the most part, everything I have today was something that I had around. All right, so I'm just going to do shout out to my wife because my wife actually made this all happen.
Gwen is amazing. She does a heck of a lot, y'all. You know, it's sometimes Tim will text me saying, "Hey, what are we doing?" Because Gwen's going to the store today and she needs to pick up what I need. I need to get her number. I just need to text her directly, is my opinion.
Yeah, well, what it is we go shopping on Sundays, and I really hate to go back to the store on Mondays for our show.
For good reason.
I would rather go on Sundays one time, get it done. I have a ton of stuff to do on Mondays. Last thing I need to do is have to make a grocery store run again on Mondays.
That's never fun.
Yeah. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week with another fun episode. In the meantime, guys,
cheers y'all.